Today we are reflecting on Charles Spurgeon's sermon titled Comfort for the Desponding, preached in 1855. It is a message drawn from Job chapter 29, verse 2, where Job cries out, "Oh, that I were as in months past." This longing expresses a heart that remembers better days of spiritual joy, but now feels cast down. Spurgeon unfolds his cry as a complaint, then shows its causes, its cures, and finally gives exhortation to the downcast soul. He begins by describing how believers, though often filled with joy and peace, may pass through seasons of deep trial and sadness. Just like sheep led by a good shepherd, there are still times they wander into dry wilderness. In those moments, they remember days when God's presence was nearer, and they sigh, "Oh, that I were as in months past." The complaint itself can take several forms. Some feel they have lost the brightness of their evidences, those sweet assurances of faith. Once they could confidently say, "I know whom I believed," but now clouds of doubt overshadow them. Others lament because their peace of mind has been stolen. What once seemed like nothing now feels overwhelming. Some grieve because they no longer find delight in worship, prayer, or the house of God as they once did. And still others sorrow that their conscience is not as tender as before, or that their zeal for God's glory has cooled. Spurgeon then turns to the causes of this despondency. He points to neglect of prayer as one of the chief reasons. Prayer, he says, is the lifeblood of the Christian. Without it, joy fades and the heart grows weak. Another cause is poor spiritual food. He reminds us that if we neglect the word of God and the gathering of believers, our souls will starve. Still further, idolatry, placing our love on other things, leads us away from the joy of Christ. And perhaps the most subtle cause is self-confidence and self-righteousness, which creep in like a serpent. When we trust ourselves, rather than leaning wholly on Christ, we fall into despair. But Spurgeon does not leave us there. He shows a cure. Return to prayer. Return to the Word. Return to the house of God. Return to Christ himself. He urges that the Christian must not only long for months past, but must press forward to a deeper, renewed walk with God. He reminds us that even if we have dropped our role like Christian in Pilgrim's Progress, we can find it again. We must cry out like Jonah from the depths, and God will hear. Finally, he exhorts believers to take comfort and to rise again. The cry of, "Oh, that I were as in months past," should not end in despair, but in restoration. God can revive what seems lost. The same Spirit who gave joy before can renew it again. Spurgeon pleads that we not be content with half-hearted religion, but that we seek to bear fruit, to live faithfully, and to shine as true Christians. He warns against living only to enter heaven with a starless crown. Instead, he calls us to live so that others may be brought to Christ through us. So the message is clear. If you are desponding, do not give up. If your soul sighs, "Oh, that I were as in months past," then let it drive you back to prayer, back to Christ, back to the source of true joy. For the God who gave light before can surely give it again. Thank you for joining us, and please like the video, subscribe, and share. God bless you all, and I hope to see you again.